I just can't believe it. This is just great. Just great! I released all that warm air in this truck with nowhere to go. Well, hi there. Not quite sure why I've actually got my own long sleeves today. And yes, if you're wondering why I'm still in these clothing, and it's because it's not yet summer yet, and we also haven't got the heat wave yet. I know it's going to be a pretty mild night, and I think tomorrow is going to be a little bit warmer, of course. 19 or 20 degrees Celsius, that will be an outstanding temperature. And I think that's going to be really amazing, and sadly I don't know if this will work, because often low temperatures are the most, sorry about my iffy voicing and talking over in this video. Often one of the most iffiest and one of the most tedious performances for my company being Flip-Flap is that it does not like these temperatures there. It actually feels more like 6 degrees Celsius, but if I look closely here, it actually says number 6 and not 8. Which is quite interesting, but that's how the weather works. Sometimes a milder temperature can be feeling like it would actually be feeling cold. And let's just take a look at the brief week. It will remain dry tonight, and with clear periods it will become rather cool. I think it would, I'm not sure what I'm saying, but I'm pretty sure that might be either the correct or the incorrect definition of, or the way it's been spelt. It will become rather cool, or it will turn rather cool, I would say. Some mist may develop later in the night, mainly towards dawn. Now what that actually means is that dawn is actually the time at night, just before the morning. Now anyways, I'm just going to be in a more coherent personality, I think, because if I just keep on just sounding like I'm a totally, utterly crazy, yet angry ranter, in a sense, I would actually say it's time to go ahead and do some very interesting toys that I'm actually just going to duck about. And what do we have here? It looks like I've got one of these rogue beetles here. It looks like it's one of these ground beetles. Do they just bite? Oh my goodness me, that is quite crazy, eh? I've never handled this specimen before. I've actually found a good place where the other critters must be living, and I think this guy could be the one that is also likely to bite people as well. You can see these little pincer things on the front. These are the things that really do give you a very nasty bite. And it looks like another bug has escaped. Oops, sorry, I've just dropped the camera here. I've also got a couple of these here. I've got another earwig. I'm not sure if it's BINDI, the pet earwig. And it looks like he's going for a bit of a runner. It feels like we've got a lot of bugs in our house here. I'm pretty sure it's good or bad, I suppose. I think it's inside this incredible Hobatrus plastic bag. And that is also not a good look, for the fact that some bugs will sadly be suffocated. And oh no, here comes that beetle again. He's going to be biting me. Uh-oh, this does not look good. Here's the other bugs here. I've actually collected a lot of woodlice today, I suppose. Oh my goodness me, eh? This is going to be very, very dangerous. And pretty intriguing as well. Looks like the earwig and the beetle have actually been escaped towards the this area here, I suppose. Hang on, we've got it's like 1 or 2 earwigs, eh? That's pretty rare. I initially thought 1 or 2 earwigs would literally, they've actually survived. That's very interesting indeed. Initially thought this is like a very great terrarium here. There's 2 earwigs, eh? How do these guys actually just survive without eating any food, eh? Maybe there's a whole bunch of dead ladybirds there, and maybe they're basically a bit of a scavenger, I suppose. A lot, I would say, is that a lot of the woodlice have basically been killed by, let's just say, the earwigs, which is fairly intriguing if you actually ask me, I suppose, eh? Now, if I turn to the other side, though, there's actually a fair bit more activity here. That's pretty creepy, isn't it? It looks like a very huge terrarium of bugs, eh? And as you can see, I can actually see a dead spider here. They only confine themselves into dark and reclusive areas, but I think this one here has been bitten, has been destroyed, and I think one of the other bugs must have also eaten a beetle larva as well. And it looks like it has just basically escaped. I bet that earwig is just going to kill me. Oh god, eh? Those back pincer things. That's going to hurt people on purpose, I suppose, eh? That is very dangerous. In fact, I'm just going to put that one back away to where it was, I suppose. And there's actually another woodlice right here, I suppose. And that earwig just keeps on doing the same maneuvers. That is just literally taking over the whole video, eh? Goodness me. I mean, good grief. Why is it doing things like that? It's just so weird. It just keeps on escaping the whole packaging. Anyways, I put the whole bug terrarium away, and I think I wish I could just glue it. One thing for sure. But I'm just gonna, hopefully in this video, just go ahead and just take a look at these two products here, so that I can just go ahead and just duck about with this one here, which is this wintering scaly breasted or breasted merganser duck flock 12 pack. Remember I did the red breasted geese product? There was actually another product which is basically like waterfowl which have the word breast in it, and I think that's gonna probably demonetize the whole video, because if it hears the word breast, that's a bit cringy. £16 or £15.99. Pretty obvious, it's in that Pokemon style. It looks like Farfetch from one of those goddamn Pokemon games, I would say. And it looks like a whole bunch of Magikarp there. Looks like I've got a very simplistic instructions thingy bob via the anatomy. And I'm just going to do this one quite fast, because sadly I don't have that much time. And to add to that, I've actually shown you the whole bug terrarium thingy bob. And these birds are like the relatives of many other merganser duck species, and I think a merganser is like a duck that literally lives beside the sea, but not always as per usual, I suppose. I think they tend to be diving ducks, which is very interesting indeed. The tufted duck is one example of a diving duck that I actually tend to know of. But these ones there, these scaly breasted or breasted mergansers, oh, I would say they look pretty nice, I suppose. I think they should have been called, I think they're named as the scaly-sided merganser. Now, that is actually very wrong. And I think this name here, the packaging there, it actually misleads the names. I think that's a misleading sort of name. I should have just made another batch. I could call it the scaly-sided merganser versus the scaly-breasted merganser. Now, why is it trying to interpolate that? Is for the fact that it's trying to interpolate. It's actually going to confuse another bird species. I think there's another bird in this family. There was the goosander, and there's also the red-breasted merganser, which is the rarest of all seabirds, which is a sea duck that tends to live in fresh water, but it's also the only one that lives beside the sea. Anyways, here are the fishies there. They look like generic goddamn Magikarps like that. They look like wild carps. It looks like they've got their eyes kicked out, or they're just covered in smog. That's pretty weird. They look like they're just covered in goddamn smog, or they've been polluted or something. Is that like they've just turned... Oh god, good grief, eh? These fishies, they look like they've been polluted. Or something, I suppose. I actually did a jump cut because I was about to sniff, and yes, this is what I did. And I think, let's just take a look at what the scaly-sided merganser is like. Okay, go ahead and just take a look at the humdinger of all websites. The Wikipedia. So I'm actually just going to type in what it is. I'm just going to do it in single-handedly because I think it's very hard with the camera, of course. But there you go, the scaly-sided merganser. It's one bird here that is also known as the Chinese merganser. It's actually quite a very interesting merganser, but it's also highly endangered. And this is like the red-breasted goose that I've looked at. I've actually noticed the red-breasted goose is a vulnerable specimen. But what about the scaly-sided merganser? Here you go, I suppose, eh? I wonder where they live. They tend to live in temperate East Asia, and I think they tend to basically winter in other places here. I think they actually, there's small numbers wintering in central and southern China, and that's interesting. The Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, northern Vietnam, Myanmar, and Thailand. I've got the very interesting pop-ups here. I think they arrive on the breeding grounds as soon as winter is over in March. And I think their breeding grounds is basically around, they tend to breed in Russia and North Korea. I think that's what they'll do in northeastern China. Very interesting sort of specimen because it's like the doppelganger of this specimen here, the red-breasted merganser, and there's also this one here, the goosander, which I think I've seen this one before, but I think I've actually tend to see a lot more females than the males. Maybe it's because of due to successful migrational journeys, I would say. But the saddest part with many migratory waterfowl in the winter, like the hooper swan, and let's just say barnacle geese, as an example, I would actually say these types of birds I think the numbers wintering here have been decreasing rapidly, and that's because many of these birds, like this one here, are not needing to travel all the way through across the UK to Ireland, near to their European breeding grounds. And that's a classic example. Merganser, mile around Oki Island in Lake Biwa, Omi Hachiman, Shiga Prefecture, Japan. Well, let's just have a good close-up in-hand appraisal. This is the female of all the ducks. It's got orange feet, or should I say, she's got orange feet like all the other female ducks do. They all look dull, and she looks pretty amazing. Let's take a look at the male. She's obviously got brown head. She's obviously got a brown head, of course. And this one here, the drake, has got a green head. And yes, the drake is actually the term for a male duck, which looks pretty amazing indeed. I don't know how good or bad, it doesn't look sloppy for basically the way the wings have been designed. Orange feet, like the way I've actually just saw it. But I think in real life, I think they tend to have greyish or reddish-greyish, maybe black feet, of course. I don't know, but nevertheless, both of these share the big black or grey wing tips on them, I suppose, which looks pretty done cool indeed, I suppose. It's actually quite a very nice looking set with all the other, let's just say, all the other waterfowl I've just looked at in the previous video, including the naughtiest of all, the red-breasted goose, and not merganser, because if it wasn't merganser, how would I even know? It was quite interesting to basically, and intriguing to basically talk about a huge range of birds, which are typically waterfowl, which in fact they're not fowl. And yes, it's such a very amazing time to just take a look at some interesting bird toys. Oh yeah, and we'll take a look at this one here, the female tufted duck, or should I say, the female tufted duck flying flock 12-pack. Cost the same price as the other set, which was the wintering scaly-breasted or scaly-sided merganser, and it looks pretty amazing indeed. Hence the name tufted ducks. I think the females tend to have signs of non-tufts, I'll say no tufts, or little signs of tufts just popping out from their heads, but I can't see anything, of course. And yes, tufted ducks love to eat mussels, don't they? I certainly agree. But they also love to eat worms, other insects, many aquatic ones, let's say dragonflies, and another water insect I can name, mayfly nymphs, and also, apart from that, there was also a water, is it like a boatman? I think, and there was also water striders as well. Now here are the mussels. There's three colours, there's blue, grey or black, and brown. So I'd probably say that they actually do remind me of cockles or scallops, but they're quite interesting. I've actually tried mussels and they look pretty amazing indeed. I don't know what the yellow orangey thing on the mussels there are called. Once again, we've got the very similar instructions here. And that is one flippin' duck, eh? I mean, what in the duck is that? Sorry for the vulgar pun, but that looks pretty amazing, isn't it? I was about to say the F word, but no, not going to do that because that's going to demonetize the whole video and that's going to probably tick the whole audience off. Licensed to flip-flap via the British Wildlife Collection Toy Marquee. Let's do it. Well, before I start to take a look at the toy, which was the female tufted duck flying flock, I want to take a look at the monthly outlook and I want to see what's going to be all about, and I might try and read this one in a full description in a very swift sort of speed. And yes, this will be fun. Okay, here we go. Sorry for the finger on the camera, eh? I won't read this one here. I know it's going to be a very changeable time for this week and next week as well. But I think high pressure is going to be often towards the southwest, which looks very amazing indeed. I don't think I can read that, but I can tell you guys though, it looks pretty amazing. And look at that! Strong signals for intensifying high pressure from basically around the week after, because I think as we head towards summer, heatwave conditions may be possible, but we don't know. Okay, coming in for the unpacking. You know what's quite strange is because our world is starting to get warmer and warmer, our rivers and also other water areas are starting to dry up, even though our seas are basically going to be rising in terms of levels. So anyways, here are the mussels. They come in three colours. There's grey or black, there's blue, and there's brown. And I think the reason why I think mussels are compatible with water is because I often tend to see a lot of mussels waterlogged everywhere in the sea. which is very common, of course, I suppose. Here's one of the tufted ducks, which is a female, of course. She looks perfectly brown, and she looks actually quite stunning, and let's just say the male, because the male looks a bit black, but I think if I look closely, I think the male is a lot more purple than the female tufted duck. And they actually show no tufts in there, that's why they're all called like that. There's no name here, which is a bit of a bummer in a sense. Like, I'm not even trying to sound like a dumber in a sense, or a downer in a sense. And one thing I'd say about the eyes is that they actually remind me of the Pokemon Farfetch. Pretty amazing indeed. I wish there was a mussel Pokemon here, but I'm pretty sure we had. I suppose. It looks pretty amazing, these duck-looking Pokemon, eh? I would say it is a replica of Farfetch, but in a very slightly different way. I dare say the real equivalent of Farfetch would be a mallard duck, or let's just say a tufted duck. I don't know. And there's also another one here which has got a very big... It's quite strange that the eyes, to me, they almost look like they have a very huge iris. To me, I would literally think that this is a very hydrocephalic looking sort of duck. Because it almost looks like it's got a very giant inflamed sort of eye, I believe. Maybe I'm just saying it as like inflamed forehead. And it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? I love the details on these ducks. And maybe to be quite prudent here is I have no commercial connection to the Pokemon Company. And yes, if I was connecting with the Pokemon Company, well, Flip-Flap won't be present. And yes, if I was going to make a whole bunch of blooming toy reviews, well, that wouldn't be so bad indeed. In fact, my videos won't be considered to be a very bad sort of purgatory, I believe. Maybe I could check out that word purgatory, if I can conceal that, of course. Well, yes, this video is going to get one of the longest of all durations, of course. But I'm just going to search out one of the most interesting words, and it's purgatory. I think I've heard this one before. And it's actually, according to belief to some Christians, an intermediate state after physical death or expiatory purification. Very interesting. There is disagreement among Christians whether such a state exists. So, it does relate into something which is a bit too satanic, doesn't it, guys, eh? So, Christians who are watching this, if you're watching this, please dislike or like this video if you like to. And speaking of giving this video a like, subscribe for more videos, of course, on YouTube. And there's one thing I might show you at the end. Guess what? Who's going to be looking at more bugs? Well, guess what? I am, and oh my goodness me, there's that goddamn rogue beetle here again. Why does that beetle just keep on popping up, eh? I suppose I'll show you the whole... Oh my god, that beetle is almost going to bite me. Oh my god, eh? Anyways, I think that's about that in this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure that's going to be totally amazing if you have watched this rest of the video. And if you like this video, I would actually want to say thanks for watching, for doing so. And bye for now, and enjoy this whole terrarium. Okay, bye.